Have you read the graphic novel?
Did you really gonna ask me that on camera?
Have you read
brought the graphic novel in and showed it to you when I read it.
So you read it?
What's up?
That's what you're doing?
Yeah, I'm trying to bring it back.
No.
Everything old is new again.
Who are we?
We're the News 19 Nerds.
Who are you?
I am the Leroy. The great Leroy Green.
I'm Michael. Yeah. I'm got no time for your foolishness, sir. We here early, I guess late now at night at this station doing these videos, trying to knock a bunch of them out at the same time.
They don't know what time we're here, man. We could be here at 3 p.m.
I know, but I'm giving them a little insight into what we're doing. Sometimes people like a little backstory and this is how they put
how the
sausage gets made.
You want to hear how the sausage gets made?
Oh, no. They won't know that. What are we talking about?
What we're talking about is a graphic novel that's been turned into a movie. It was one of our movies of the year to look forward to.
My movie of the year to look forward to.
Oh, don't you start. No.
Didn't you say it was?
No.
Didn't you say it was?
No.
You did say that.
No. You don't get to claim that now.
But you said that though before, right?
As many times as you have...
I said that though? That it was one of my movies?
You know what? You're not gonna troll me today. You're not gonna take my joy. You're not gonna kill my vibe. Anyway, The Kitchen is a Vertigo graphic novel from Ole Masters. Variant covers from Becky Cloonan. You almost got me. So
it was one of my movies in our
it was
YouTube.
Not.
It was.
It wasn't. You know why? Because it doesn't get to be one of your movies. If you don't remember, you picked it.
But the video says I did pick it.
I picked it as well, but you picked it as well and then forgot about it.
But I wrote about it and I talked about it in the thing, didn't I?
Shut up. Anyway, we're going to watch the trailer. We haven't been... Just play the video, man, because you're about to...
No backstory? You excited for like Tiffany Haddish and Melissa McCarthy?
Just play the video.
Elisabeth Moss? Yeah, alright. Sound angry, man.
This is what you do to me.
Alright.
No, year after I was born.
Times change. You do what you gotta do. For kids.
Most employers don't want mothers. It's a competitive market.
You don't know me.
For money, you survive.
Now might be the time.
For what?
For you.
Our husbands have 24 months left on their sentences.
Sorry, baby.
This is the Irish mob, organized crime.
We're gonna take care of you. You girls are gonna be just fine.
We got no money.
Can't even make the rent with what they gave me last night. They didn't want me in the family in the first place.
40 years we pay protection and we don't get nothing for it.
They have been telling us forever that we are never going to do anything but have babies. A bunch of men that have forgotten what family means.
So we remind them.
You look pretty, Mama.
Pretty doesn't matter. It's just a tool women use.
For what?
Anything we want.
What do you want?
We are gonna have crews everywhere.
I can see you got brains, and I know you got money. But we got one thing that you don't. We got criminals.
I told you we can't go around working for a bunch of women.
You are not smarter than me. I will wipe you off the face of the earth.
I don't want you to do it. I want you to teach me how to do it.
Just to be clear, now we run this neighborhood.
Step off my business.
Baby, it's my business now.
They're gonna swallow this entire city. You go to war, there's no coming back.
Alfonso Coretti wants to talk.
If we go to Brooklyn, we're dead.
What do you wear to something like that? You get dressed up?
Are you kidding?
What?
My God, I lost count again.
Oh, go back. They had the names up there. That's cool. I like that. Right. Oh man, there it was. I love that. The shout out to the actual creators of the book. So, what'd you think?
That's awesome. That looks great. I'm glad I picked that movie. Man, y'all, check out some videos we did last year. We talked about the movies we were looking forward to for this year. The Kitchen was on my list. Turns out, I was right. I mean, you can be off. I'll talk about this whole thing myself. I am excited about Melissa McCarthy and Tiffany Haddish. I love it when.
How you excited about it? You don't even remember it.
It reminded me. I'm always excited whenever people who are known for comedy do dramatic stuff, and vice versa. I'm always excited when you see people that you don't normally see in their, whatever their normal thing is. They do something different. I always love to see that. The movie, I mean, it's played. It's not a comedy, which is awesome. It's played serious. Elisabeth Moss is always a heavy hitter. I've always liked her even since West Wing. I didn't watch Mad Men because I just didn't care about Mad Men. I know people gonna hate me, but that's fine. Didn't like that.
I hate you.
Handmaid's Tale, I did watch that. I like that a lot. So, The Kitchen refers to Hell's Kitchen, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Have you read the graphic novel?
Did you really gonna ask me that on camera?
Have you
I
read
brought the graphic novel in and showed it to you when I read it.
So you read it?
I hate you.
Okay.
I swear to God.
Audience, he read it.
He is You guys don't understand. Okay, here's the backstory. So when The Kitchen first came out as a graphic novel, I showed Michael. Got it from the library. I was like, this is a cool story. And Michael was like, Then it got turned into it got bought as.
So when I said that probably means I forgot.
Anyway, so I told him about it. Then it got optioned for a movie. And I showed him the graphic novel. And I was like, yo, remember this when I told you? I said, it just got, and I said, here's the story. He's like, oh, that sounds cool. Sounds interesting. Nothing. He goes through and sees all the people who got listed on the movie. I picked it as one of my movies. He picked it as one of his movies. I was like, no. You go do this one. I'm going to do some other ones. Then this fool forgets he picked it and then acts like he doesn't know anything about it every time it comes on. Now he's hyped.
Well, then that just proves your point. If I forgot that I picked it, then yeah, I am hyped.
But you forgot. I don't know if he's trolling me, guys. I really don't. Like, it's really messing with me right now. I've been waiting for this movie to come out for 2 years.
You should have picked it. That was a troll. Yeah. No, man. I mean, it looks incredible, right? The scenery looks cool. 1978. I may have broken Leroy, y'all.
Why do you do this to me?
Me and this movie broke Leroy.
I've been excited for this movie for 2 years, and every time it comes up, he does this fake, serious, hey man, you heard about this movie, The Kitchen? And I fall for it every time.
But now we've seen this first trailer. So is this like I'm calling out from sick for you? From work?
I'm gonna stab you.
I'm asking a real question.
No, you're not. No, you're not.
There are other videos that we just did where you said I'm calling out sick for these days when the games come out. So I'm asking about this movie. Is this movie so hype on your list that you're like, this is what I'm calling out?
No, because you've ruined it for me. You've ruined this experience.
I ruined the movie for you?
You ruined this trailer experience for me.
I'm not talking about trailer. I'm talking about the movie.
I don't know yet because I need to get over this feelings. I need to talk to somebody.
If I can do that to you, man, you gotta.
That's because I believe in you. I trusted you.
That's on you.
I love you, man.
That's on you. Shouldn't have done that.
You know, you sound like
what?
The Arthur meme. You know what this was when you got into it. I hate you.
Domhnall Gleeson.
Domhnall Gleeson.
I
Tiffany
always
Haddish.
loved him.
I like the fact that Tiffany Haddish is in it, and they mentioned that part that they didn't even want me in this family because it's an Irish mob. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if you know anything about back in the day. Irish and black people, they didn't really get along. So the fact that old boy had a black wife probably didn't go over too well. You know, guess who's coming to dinner?
Do we think...
So...
Well, I had a question, but let me look something up. You keep going.
So the one thing that I think is, and they said in the trailer, the cool thing about this movie is they were wives of gangsters. Mm-hmm. The gangsters get put away, and they have to take over their territory in order to make ends meet. They get good at it. I'm not going to ruin it, but if you read the book, you know what happens next.
I would assume the men come back and now they want their stuff back, but... Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. And the woman's like, no, we got this player.
Well, the thing is, I'm hoping that you brought up a very interesting point that it's not a comedy. In the graphic novel, one of the women deals with domestic violence. That one of the things that happened was it was good that the men went away because one of the girls was getting beat. And so she had to learn to stand up for herself. And I like the fact that Melissa McCarthy is the ringleader, and she basically is the one who keeps everything together. You saw that they deal with the Irish, they run the Irish mob, and then they deal with the Italian mob, the mafia. That's an interesting development because it shows a split between the women in the book of how ruthless they end up being, where some of them are like, well, let's just keep our piece of the pie, and the other one's like,
let's expand.
Let's expand.
Yeah.
And so you see that dichotomy a little bit in the book, and I hope they flesh that out in this movie, because you're right, it does. This movie reminds me of Goodfellas a little bit, with that 70s feel. It reminds me of Casino. It reminds me of those old school gangster movies, Bronx Tale, Carlito's Way. That's what this movie reminds me of.
So I was going to ask you about Widows. I just went to Box Office Mojo, and according to Box Office Mojo, it's made about 76 million worldwide on a budget of 42 million. So does that help or hurt the chances?
I wouldn't compare it to Widows.
Okay.
Reason why I wouldn't compare it to Widows is because Widows, as much as I love Widows, as much acclaim as it got, Widows did not do as well as they thought it should have at the box office. And I think that part of the reason why is because the trailer was cut one way, the advertisement was for one way, and the movie delivered a totally different movie. Mm-hmm. So if you went into it thinking this was going to be an action movie, a heist movie, you got a little bit of that, but it was more of a thriller. Mm-hmm. And people went into it, if you look at the cinema score when it came out, that wasn't what they were expecting. They were kind of expecting to go in and get more of, I don't want to say Fast and Furious feel, but more of a...
Definitely more action than
yes.
what you got.
And so...
Widows was definitely more measured.
And it was not just measured. There was a lot of social commentary. If you remember the tracking shot between...
driving from the
hood into the nice neighborhood.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember old boy from...
Colin Farrell.
If you remember that scene, and his driver was black, and then he was talking about black people, and then he gets out to this nice neighborhood.
Yeah.
That whole scene, that was very much a social commentary that Steve McQueen did. And it was based in Chicago. There was a reason for that. Mm-hmm. So it was a different movie than what was promised, so to speak. Kind of like, you liked Bad Times at El Royale, right? Mm-hmm. But if you watch the trailer, the trailer did not deliver the movie that they said they were trying to bring.
Right.
So I think, try not to compare to that just because it's more female-led. I think this movie, again, I think it compares more to those old school gangster films from a women's point of view. This is women standing up for themselves who are trying to navigate in a male-dominated world, but also basically trying to learn how to be criminals.
So, have we ever seen Tiffany Haddish in like a serious role? I don't feel like she's been in a serious role.
She's been in a serious-ish role as far as she was in The Oath last year. Did you ever see that?
But that was a comedy.
That was more of a dark comedy. I think that was a more serious. That was a role where she had more meat to me. Mm-hmm. I think than the other stuff she has. She's been Melissa McCarthy has done serious stuff before.
Some of her comedies that people thought were comedies but had like serious moments to it. And then she also did. I'm trying to go into IMDb now. What was that movie that came out where she had award nominations for?
Forgive Me, something for Can you forgive me?
Only God Forgives?
No,
that's a different movie.
That's Richard Wynn's movie.
Yeah. Can You Ever Forgive Me?
Yes, I knew. Yeah.
There we go. Can You Ever Forgive Me? Yeah.
That was she got nominated for an Oscar for that. If you scroll down, there's a couple of other movies that where she did a serious role. I'm trying to remember what it was. St. Vincent.
Yeah, St.
Dark
Vincent.
comedy. What's another one? She's done some serious stuff before. The Life of David Gale, even though she was like just kind of White Oleander. She's been in serious stuff, but she didn't have to carry the movie. Mm-hmm. So I think this might be the first movie where she's front and center in this movie, carrying the movie like she did with Can You Ever Forgive Me? Mm-hmm. Elisabeth Moss, like you said, she's been doing stuff. Like, I don't even know if she's ever been in a comedy. Mm-hmm. I mean, I honestly don't know.
I don't know.
And I'm quite sure they'll tell me. But
so what elements are you hoping that were in the book make it to the movie?
Like I said, I hope they do talk about domestic violence in this. Mm-hmm. And because one of the things that I think is very interesting if you go back and watch, which I'd love to do, not go tell them what just happened.
A bug, man.
So, God, just inside baseball. Our room is downstairs. Our new sets is downstairs, and we have a party tomorrow. It's not for us. They confiscated our room and are running wires through our room to get to electric outlets. So there's a window open, and there are
Bugs just flying in,
bugs
man.
are just flying in.
You gotta take them out.
And we got lights all over the place. So bugs are like, ooh, what's that?
Yeah.
One of the cool things I think, if you go back and watch movies from like the 70s that were made in the 70s, they capture what life was like then. So you get movies where people smoke, people drink, people curse, people use foul language, they use racial slurs. So I'm hoping you get that feel in the 70s. I'm hoping it's not a whitewashed version of the 70s where it's like, oh, we didn't do this or we didn't do that. Yeah, I want it to be like it was in 1978. Go back and watch movies like The French Connection. You're like, wow, like Serpico. Go back and watch those movies. A Dog Day Afternoon. Those movies are timeless because they're a window in time during that time period. So I'm hoping they get that right. I'm also hoping they don't shy away from the violence that these women, when they first have to commit a murder. Like in the book, they kind of go into that, like, pulling a trigger on somebody ain't easy. And
Well, we saw that from the one scene, Elisabeth Moss. She said, I don't want you to, something to the effect of, I want you to show me how to do it. I don't need you to do it. I want you to show me how to do it.
And so I'm hoping we get a lot of that. Because I know we see movies, you see John Wick where, there's the triggers pulled. But I hope this is more of a real journey for these women.
The consequences of what it means to actually take
not just
somebody's
consequences, but the journey that it takes to go from being a mom and a wife where you were complicit, but now you're not just complicit, you are actively participating. Because before you could play, oh, I didn't know what Johnny was doing, I didn't know where the money was coming from. I knew, but now you're actually holding the gun. You're actually pulling the trigger. You're calling out the orders to put hits on people. Because that's what they end up doing.
I have my last question, because we got other stuff we got to do. But in the book, was one of the women black?
No.
Oh, so this is
that's what
this is for the movie.
That's what I said. So they've changed. They've taken some liberties, and that's what I said with Tiffany Haddish when she was like, they didn't even want me in the family.
Right.
One of the women, she wasn't black. Now you had black people in the book.
Right.
But you didn't have one of the main characters being black, which I'm okay with.
Yeah.
As long as the character is true to what they're trying to, the story that they're trying to tell.
Right.
It looks great. I don't know if you saw the name Andrea Berloff. Berloff was also one of the directors, or no, one of the, I want to say writers, but she worked on Straight Outta Compton.
Yeah.
So I'm really hoping that it's a very grounded and not like a very Hollywood, Disney type gangster movie.
I mean, for sure. I mean, that was one of the reasons why I picked the movie. It's on my list.
I hate you.
On that, folks, like, comment, and subscribe right here. Also find us on, of course, on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, WOTex.com, and we're out.
Bravo, sir. Bravo. The troll job is excellent.